Hello, I'm Vince White. I am an employment attorney. I am answering publicly posted questions on Avo.com and getting people the answers they need from an employment attorney. Here we go. Here's our question, and this is a question from a human being that I can tell is rather intelligent. Can I lose my job for using this federally legal substance, which is, I think, Delta 8 THC, specifically hemp derived legal, which has been legalized as per the 2018 Farm Bill? I'll take your word on that. I'm not familiar with the Farm Bill, but I believe you because I can tell you've done your research. When urine analysis detects the presence of THC metabolites, the result does not distinguish between legal and illegal consumption. Accurate. Delta 9 THC, the psychoactive compound found in cannabis, whether legal or otherwise, metabolizes into the same waste product that Delta 8 THC does. And while Delta 9 is illegal, Delta 8 is federally legal as per the 2018 Farm Bill. Because of this, a urine analysis will cause a failure of the test from perfectly legal substance use. What would be the legal defense if this were to happen to any law-abiding citizen in the U.S.? I would think either Delta 8 THC, along with any and all other tetrahydrous cannabinoids, or cannabinols, I apologize, that metabolize into aforementioned metabolite, would need to be added to the controlled substance schedule, or new drug tests need to be created to differentiate between the two. Any urine analysis that can potentially cause one to lose their livelihood or freedom should be held to a standard of giving results that are indisputable, with provisions made for false positives that can be lab verified, keeping in mind innocent until proven guilty, with the burden of evidence on the accuser. What is the next step for the above-mentioned law-abiding citizen? Okay, so you are mixing up two legal standards. Your question deals with two things. One, the criminal ramifications, right? The criminal law of the United States. I can't tell you word one about that. I don't know anything about it. I'm an employment attorney, and this is posted in an employment law section, labor and employment specifically, so I'm only going to answer that part of the question. So right then and there, you can throw out everything about innocent until proven guilty. That is not a thing. That is not a thing in the context of employment. You're also talking about controlled substances. That also doesn't matter. That is not a thing for the sake of employers. Now, I am assuming that you are an at-will employee in this hypothetical. And at-will employees can, generally speaking, be terminated for any non-discriminatory reason or non-retaliatory reason, or even no reason at all, right? I can be walking along the street. My boss sees me and says, "Vince, you got a fat face. You're done here. Get out." Well, that's hurtful, but probably legal, unless fat face is some kind of racial slur that I'm not aware of, right? So they don't always need a reason, which is relevant because they're not held to the same standards as the federal government when the federal government or the state government is trying to deprive you of your freedom, right? So here, do I think that they should have a better test? Yeah, of course. I don't think they should have a test at all. In fact, New York City, for many jobs, it's not legal to test for THC anymore. However, you don't care about that. You're not, it appears, in New York City. So you have to deal with this test, and this test is a garbage test that's going to produce positive results, positive findings for THC, whether or not you're consuming a legal or an illegal substance. And the fact of the matter is, it just for the employer's sake, unless state law says differently, it doesn't matter. They're just going to be like, "Oh yeah, we don't want you to take either of those. We want to fire you if you're taking either." And you're going to say, "But one of those is legal." They're going to say, Sure it is. We don't care." Doesn't mean you can work here, right? It's legal to do lots of things. It's legal to jump up on a soapbox in the park and start giving a racist speech. That is probably legal under freedom of speech, right? But they can still fire you for it, and they should, right? And I'm not saying they should fire you for consuming any THC product, but they do have the right to do that, unless there's a local or state law where you are that says differently. And some parts of the country, those laws do exist, right? We're at a pivotal time, and those laws are developing. I do not know your local laws, and even if I did, I wouldn't be allowed to tell you because I'm not barred in your state. I can only speak to the generalities of the situation here. Now, That's the problem. That's the problem. They can just say, yeah, both legal and illegal. We're going to terminate everybody who tests positive. Do I think you might have a claim against the testing company? Maybe. It depends. It depends what claims they're making about this result that they're producing, and if they're specifying for the employer that they're producing positive results on both legal and illegal consumption of substances, and if they're misleading employers and saying, "Oh, this person's taking a banned substance," well, that's a problem. That's a problem, right? But if the testing center says, just honest with the employer and says, yeah, this is going to turn results for both legal and illegal substances, but we think you should fire people with any positive results, so go ahead. They might get away with that if they're honest, frankly. I don't know. You're going to have to talk to a local attorney about that as well, but that's my concern for you. Now, there's one more thing in here that I wanted to address. I want to find it. Oh, so you mentioned that it's insane. Well, you didn't say it this way. You said it better than I'm saying it. You said it's really unreasonable that drug tests could be producing false positives, and yet people are losing their livelihood as a result of that. And also, in some situations, they're losing their kids, they're losing their home, they're losing their apartment, they're losing their freedom, right? Yeah, so a lot of drug tests have fairly significant margins of error. The U.S. government, generally speaking, doesn't care. Now, take that up with a criminal attorney. That is their realm. Private business cares even less because they don't have any criminal attorneys running around defending you when you get terminated, right? That's the problem. This is the problem that you're dealing with, and this is why laws have to change, and why in different areas you're going to have vastly different protections. And that is really unfair, and it stinks, and it's stupid, and the government is overreaching, and employers are being unreasonable. Why would you be terminating someone who on their free time uses a completely reasonable substance that is in no way any worse than alcohol, right? Why? But that being said, they can, generally speaking. But for any local law, that might say differently. I'm sorry to give you a really ridiculous but accurate response. What I'm saying is, of course, ridiculous. It is also, I believe, accurate. I'm sorry about that. I hope this helps, though. If it does help, consider liking and subscribing, because that will help me to help more people just like you.